Hey, what's up everybody, Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thanks for taking time out to check it out. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys come back to Zaire's channel tonight for Big Gamer Small Talk, usually around 7 p.m. Eastern or so make sure you guys check that out. If you didn't know who I am, I'm the Crapgamer, the king of all game-related media, the most compelling motherfucker on YouTube, the albino rhino, and also the pony leg breaker extraordinaire. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video if you haven't already. I appreciate it very, very much. On to today's topic. In a recent interview, Aaron Greenberg was asked about the differences between Xbox One and PS4, and he flat out said that the Xbox One is definitely innovating in ways that the PS4 isn't, and I completely agree. You know, if you just look at the differences between what Microsoft and Sony are offering, I think it's night and day, and I like that Microsoft are really kind of opening up and kind of letting people know about this when they get interviewed and things like that, because early on in the generation, I think that Microsoft were really afraid to say anything negative about Sony or even speak anything positive about themselves because they weren't allowed to. You know, if you look at what the media was doing and the gamers themselves were doing, I think that it was kind of sad that, you know, you can't be happy with what you're doing as a company because other people won't let you, and I thought that was kind of bullshit. So I'm glad that you know, Microsoft is stepping up and saying, hey, we're being really inventive right now, and Sony's not. You know, I'll give Sony credit where credit was due. You know, the PS1 and the PS2, quite inventive, you know, as far as consoles are concerned, great consoles. But then when you look at what the Xbox is doing now, they're the ones that are taking all the risks and doing the things that the fans really want and listening to gamers, and I think that that's really important, and I like what I'm seeing from Microsoft. And that's not to say that Sony can't rebound and do something good, because let's face it, we need all these people, all these companies competing against each other, because that gives us the better deal, that gives us more value, that gives us more competition, and that, you know, they're going to compete against themselves, and that's going to only pay off for us all at the end, you know. So I'm really excited about that. But I do hope that, you know, some people take note of what Microsoft is doing. But hey, they are inventive. They're a little bit more innovative than Sony. Like I said, you know, they're doing things like the Elite controller, and with some of their services like Play Anywhere, and, you know, they're taking risks. You know, they got Scorpio coming out. I think that's a bit of a risk as well. You know, they're innovative with their online and just the things that they're doing. It's almost like night and day between the two, like I said earlier. And so I think it's very interesting, and maybe you guys agree with me, maybe you don't, but I think that Microsoft is doing a fucking fantastic job, and I hope that they continue down this road, because it's not so much about you know, sheer power or anything like that, although I am happy that Microsoft is going the more powerful route, because the original Xbox was all about power, and I feel like that really helped them win the core gamers or whatever. So you know, but I do think that it's more about what the companies do for you and how much they listen, and just the ideas that they have. You know, you can just sit back and go, oh, well, let's copy, you know, Xbox's interface, which is what Sony did, or hey, let's copy VR, or let's copy, you know, the Wii. You know, anybody can sit there and do that, but it's being innovative and saying, okay, well, we're going to do this, this, and this. I think that's what set these companies apart, and Microsoft is really kind of going on the offensive instead of being defensive and reactive. You know, I think that's very important, and I just like that Microsoft is really kind of swinging for the fences these days, as opposed to Sony, who seems to be just trying to run out the clock. You know, I know those are two different kind of sports, but, you know, Microsoft is swinging for the fences, and Sony, on the other hand, they just want that clock to run out because they've got the lead, and they'll do whatever they can to hold on to it. So it's going to be very interesting, considering there's no more generations. Basically, we're just kind of at a ecosystem war, and Microsoft seems to be doing well with that, and that's their kind of war. So let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Rack them up too. Crapgamer out.